Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is where you are. Thanks for tuning in. So today, sorry, put a little bit of the light up. Today, we're going to be talking about the secrets that have been hidden in the occult, in religion, and secret societies, and all this stuff throughout the ages. What so many people are rushing to find out that people have been hiding. It's kind of funny because people do all sorts of things to get this hidden knowledge and all this kind of stuff. And when they get it, they may be a little bit disappointed. Or they may feel like they did all this learning and hooping, and figuring things out and putting in all this work just to find out something that they probably already knew or heard of before. And a lot of religions and Gnostic religions have tried to teach this in hidden language and, secret code and things like that. So I know there's different versions of stories about Jesus and Mary and all this kind of stuff. And if you are familiar with like Gnostic texts, you'll know that there's different versions of teachings of Jesus. So in a lot of the versions, in the Gnostic Gospels, especially Gospels of Judas, Jesus definitely is kind of revealing a lot of the secrets, but a lot of the secrets people don't really understand because it is in code. So I'll read some of what it says. So basically, it says, okay, the first thing that Jesus told Judas, because this is the Gospel of Judas. First thing that Jesus told Judas as he took him away, onto the side from the other disciples so that they couldn't hear what they were talking about. He said, this is what Jesus did, the water on the exalted mountain is from, and then it's blank because it was kind of messed up when they found this, the scriptures. It didn't come to water the well of the tree of fruit, blank, of this realm after a time, but came to water God's paradise and the enduring fruit. So to me, like I broke it down, and a mountain literally is a person that has risen up on their own ascension as far as learning and getting all the knowledge, and their consciousness has been raised on their own. Like they did the work, they put in the work to learn. And then the water represents the sprinkling down of the knowledge and the wisdom from higher self. When the earth and the heavens unite. So it's kind of like a consciousness. It also can stand for the masculine and the feminine coming together. And the feminine watering in bringing wisdom upon, those who ascended to higher levels of consciousness. Okay, y'all remember, look at the channel, baby. Look at the channel name before y'all start asking questions, because I have two channels. I know a lot of people don't realize this, but I literally have two channels. So make sure you read the names. All right. Also, then we have when it says, I didn't come to water the well. Okay, so the well would be the opposite of a mountain. It would be those who fell and did not raise their consciousness to a higher level. And it would be, you could also see it as like the female, because we already have that wisdom within us because we're, connected to the divine feminine. So we didn't need that. We already have water in the well. Okay. And so then we have God's paradise and enduring fruit. So that represents, where gods or goddesses are created. And that means in the consciousness and in the physical union or consciousness of the awakened. So like, for example, if two awakened people who have higher consciousness mate or have a baby or you know, partake in exchange, if you know what I mean. So I drew it out with the colors coded for you guys. So those of you who are used to my channel, y'all know that I teach this kind of knowledge. So if not, you can just click off and wait till I go live on the other channel. Thanks. All right, so I'm going to show you the union. This is what it looks like. So the triangle that's inverted is the female, and the mountain type pyramid triangle is the male or the masculine. And y'all are seeing through this because it's green and I have a green screen. But so the union would create Merkaba and the gods. So you have like heart and soul, depending on like the union. So you literally get heart, soul, voice. And as you're merging, as you're waiting to merge, you know, your souls cross over into each other's souls. And so you get a piece of each other and you exchange basically the knowledge as above, so below. So it's like an exchange of information, exchange of knowledge through, you know, sexual acts or through conversation or whatever. Okay, so, and when you cross over, like each of these also represent chakras and planets. When you cross over, you get a muting of the colors. So these are like the combination of the colors when you cross over from each other. So you leave your imprint and your knowledge and wisdom upon the other person. This is why a lot of people say, oh, if you sleep with someone, you are going to get their spiritual energy. So that's why I tell women on my other channel and every channel that I have, don't sleep with nothing broke. Don't sleep with nothing dumb. Try to sleep. If you're going to partake in sexual activity with anybody, make sure that they are smart, wise, and paid, because that's going to leave an imprint on you in your every aspect of your body. And this is why a lot of women have issues, and a lot of men have issues getting over the negative parts of such people or their mentality. Okay. And then a lot of stuff reminded me of like song lyrics. You know the song by Rihanna, Found Love in a Hopeless Place, where she says yellow diamonds in the sky. So this would represent this. Yellow diamonds in the light. Okay. So she said we found love in a hopeless place. And so this would represent, the green represents the heart chakra, and the hopeless place was in passing. So, and then also, if y'all are familiar with the pride flag, it looks like this, I believe. And also like giving homage to the combo or the Merkaba of both masculine and feminine and all in between. So, then we have the lesbian flag, and these are the colors of the lesbian flag. And the middle color here is like, it's white, and it represents unique relation to womanhood. Then it reminded me of the spectrum and the prism, and like the when you shine the color prism through the pyramid and it shoots out a white light. So it's from the, you know, the color spectrum from the sun hits the eye and then creates white light, which represents the divine feminine perspective coming through. Okay. And so the hidden knowledge that's been a secret for so long is the divine feminine. That's always going to be the hidden secret because of patriarchy. So, you know, a lot of these men who are seeking power and who are seeking wisdom and like hidden knowledge will sign up to all these groups. and start to learn the occult and magic and all this kind of stuff, only to then find out everything is literally based on the feminine. So they go through all of these initiations and phases and all this kind of stuff just to find out everything is a woman. And even in movies. So let's go through some of the movies that I saw that touched on this. So we'll start with I Am Legend. Have y'all seen I Am Legend with Will Smith? So I Am Legend is where this disease comes onto the earth and make all the humans into like these rabid like beasts that are like vampires are just like wild animals. And Will Smith, he's like a scientist and a doctor, and he lost his wife and daughter during also, that disease. And he was very isolated, and he was kind of like the only person left in his city or in his city. So he was trying to continue to make an antidote for those wild creatures that were once human, to get them back to their human state. So, but he couldn't do it. He kept using his own blood, but he couldn't do it. And so when he went out and they attacked him and he passed out. And, but before he was attacked and passed out, he put out like a radio signal to tell people, look, if you're still out there, come here and meet me here. And so when he woke up, he saw someone dragging him to safety. Then he wakes up, in his own house, and there's a woman there named, I think, Maria. Yeah. And her child. So this is giving feminine energy, Maria and her child. So Mother Mary and the son or the child. And so she's cooking him eggs, of all things. And eggs that are very symbolic of the feminine energy, right? So she's feeding him her eggs, And then he finally gets this brilliant way to work his formula. And finally, he creates the formula that cures the creatures back to humanity. But he has to sacrifice himself. And he gave the formula or the antidote to Maria and said, go and give this to the rest of the world, because, it's the cure. And so if it weren't for the quote unquote divine feminine, none of that would have ever happened. So I Am Legend is definitely based on, the divine feminine coming in to recreate and restart and heal the world in some sort of way, giving inspiration and being a muse to the masculine. All right. So she had a butterfly tattoo as well. That's transformation. The transformation from, patriarchy into, the divine masculine to the divine feminine, feminine spirit coming back. And then there's another movie that a lot of you probably, I don't know if y'all seen it or not, but one of my favorite movies, Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is one of the movies that you see where like there's a very masculine figure who's very rich and successful and full of himself, and it's kind of like toxic masculinity. And his ex-girlfriend works with him. She's a nurse, and she kind of like talks to him, but then he kind of lashes out at her a lot after he gets in his accident and loses the use of his hands. And he's a surgeon, so that's very important. And he tried all sorts of doctors and surgeries, and nothing worked to heal his hands. And so, his ex-girlfriend was kind of looking after him, but he, was mean to her and told her to go away. And he was like at his last straw. And so one of his, caseworkers told him about a man who miraculously healed after visiting a place. And so Dr. Strange went to find this man who had gotten miraculously healed in his back. And the guy told him, okay, you have to go to this place because that's where I got healed. And so Dr. Strange made his little trip to this place. I think it's in China or Nepal. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. Somewhere over there in the East. Basically the East. Okay. Feminine East. And he gets let into the place, and a woman appears, and she's telling him all this stuff, but he doesn't believe it. So he's still in his arrogance and his toxic masculinity. So she kicks him out. Bye. So he has to literally beg and sit on the doorstep overnight in order to come back in for a long time. So she finally let him back in. And then she like touches him on his forehead and gives him like this glimpse of reality, you know, and all this, you know, what everything is connected and how everything in the universe works. So when he comes back to consciousness, he's ready to learn from her and everything that he can. So the divine feminine, you know, touched him right here and gave him the wisdom, and he humbled himself. And then he was able to learn and study, you know, the magic arts, okay, and, you know, so forth and so on. And so that was a spiritual healing. Then when he got injured from fighting after he became Doctor Strange, his mentor, I forgot her name, the lady that touched him on the head, also you know, was injured. So he brought her to his old hospital where his ex-girlfriend worked, and they were trying to save her, but they couldn't save, you know, the lady that touched him on the forehead. His girlfriend then was asked, his ex-girlfriend was then to ask, you know, to put him in the spiritual realm by like shocking him with those little shockers that they shock you with when you die to try to resuscitate you so he could fight in the astral realm. But it took the woman to be able to do that. So it needs the feminine frequency to be able to astral travel, as well as to get the wisdom and the knowledge to the masculine. And that's the secret, because if men knew, or if women knew that only through us could they get that type of energy and power, that we may not give them access to us as easily. And this is why you see a lot of people getting upset at this time, because women aren't as accessible, especially the ones with the higher knowledge, the ones with the higher money, the ones with the higher self-esteem, so on and so forth. They're not allowing a lot of, or certain men, I'm not going to say men at all, certain men to have access to them, because in this saying in the Gospel of Judas, it's also like multidimensional and meaning. Like those who did not seek the higher consciousness to begin with may not be sprinkled with the wisdom at this time, because they did not seek higher consciousness, and they didn't seek higher knowledge, and they didn't seek higher ground at this time. So they're unable to receive the blessings of the divine feminine at this time. And it goes on to say that so you have to read it and decipher it, but basically it says, Jesus says to Judas, you will never get to experience this sort of energy. So that's why I'm telling you about it, because I want to make you upset, because I know you're going to betray me or whatever. So I'm going to tell you about the place you can never get to. And basically he's describing the fifth dimension, or 5D, or a place or a frequency in which you can create your own world and, you know, manifest very easily and create the life that you want. And so since Judas is unable to do that because he doesn't comprehend or understand, or he can't get to it because of some reason or another, we don't know. But he did say, well, when you die and you go up into the heavens and become a star, you'll be able to see everything but not partake in it. You know what I'm saying? So you'll be, you know, you won't be able to partake in that dimension. So basically, it is the divine feminine energy that comes back to, recreate reality. And those who endure to the end, this is where like the revelations and all that stuff comes in. Those who are able to endure until the end of, this, return of the divine feminine will get the blessings or get the gifts or whatever. But those who can't endure will not be receiving them. So this is a balancing of, a time where abundance is coming in, knowledge and wisdom is coming in, and literally there's no more excuses to why you can't create your own reality, because we are coming into the fourth and fifth dimension where all is possible. And so that lack mindset and that, negative mindset and that ultra logical mindset has to go out and allow the imagination and the positive abundance mindset to come in, which is the divine feminine. So when you hear a lot of people talking about, their lack, they are literally not tapping into their divine feminine energy that's, being really pushed at this time. And they're staying stuck because they haven't raised their consciousness level yet, because they still live in a place of lack. And so they can't reach what they call, quote unquote, the kingdom, or the place where you can create and have your own world. Go as you want. You can't become creators. You can't become your divine self. You can't become your God or goddess self if you still think in lack. And this is why a lot of people have not risen to that level financially, mentally, or spiritually yet, because they have not been able to receive the blessings of the divine feminine from the women who are part of the divine feminine energy that's coming in at this time. So it's only, it's going to embody certain types of women, and the ones that you do get who are aware of themselves and their divinity is going to make you aware of yourself and your divinity. So if you're with someone who doesn't feel like they're a divine goddess as a man, you're not going to ever feel like a god unless you already do on your own. You're never going to get your goddess or god frequency on your own if you can't get close to a woman that feels her divine, goddess feminine energy. So like if a man can't think that he's God on his own, and let's say he sleeps with a woman, or, starts talking to a woman that feels that she is divine and that all humans are supposed to, ascend to their divinity, and they start exchanging information and he starts believing himself more, he's going to start acting as such. You know what I'm saying? And if you're just around a bunch of religious people who think God is on the outside and that they're just below and beneath, that's where they're going to stay. So they're going to literally stay enslaved to that system where they can't create, but more just react. You know what I'm saying? So this is why it's very important to be very selective of who you allow close to you at this time, men and women. So if you're an awakened man, if you're awakened to your divine masculine self, and you go around, sleeping with someone who isn't awakened to their divine goddess self, then it could literally, reverse you if her energy is stronger, or you could wake her up if your energy is stronger, So make sure you understand this at this time. You don't need to be, exchanging information, I'll say, with those who aren't worthy in any way, And so since women and the divine feminine is very closely associated to abundance, imagination, spiritual, mental, and all these types of things that have to do with embracing your divinity, they're not going to want someone who is in lack right now, because it's going to literally strip her and bring her down from her divinity and take away a lot of that divine feminine energy that she has created, cultivated, and worked for. Okay. So this is why we're saying on my other channel, leave them broke men alone. They can't figure it out. then, we can't help you. You got to do it on your own. You know how they say, okay, well, we've been waiting for a savior or Jesus to return. Well, at one point, people are waiting for a masculine energy to return, but it's literally the feminine energy that has returned and, bring wisdom. And so it's not going to be in the form of the masculine, only unless the masculine is feminine. You know what I mean? So it's not going to be in that form. So this is why, if you are focused on lack, if you are focused on yourself, if you truly don't seek or see the woman as a divine goddess, you're going to miss it. You're going to miss it. And if you don't see the divine God within yourself as a man, you're going to miss it. And so, this is the time where a lot of people are getting very awakened spiritually, mentally, as well as abundantly in their pockets as well. And if you're missing out on that, it's because you're hanging around the wrong people and exchanging information with the wrong people, period. And, a lot of people are aware of this at this time who are higher up in the knowledge. So a lot of people who may have wealth and have, sought out the secrets of the occult and so on and so forth, they may know that the divine feminine is returning. And so they're going to honor the divine feminine in many ways, whether it's, exchanging information with her, showing her love, respect, abundance, so forth and so on. So that's why we have to make sure that we're not messing with those who are not of divinity at this time. And yet definitely get my elixirs, because that definitely will help you raise your frequency. And they are listed in the description bar. You can get them. Start with phase 1. Click on each one. And phase 1 has a gold label on it. So click on that one and just read phase 1. Click that one. If you order more than 2 bottles, you could definitely get free shipping if you put in the code SHIPS2. And I'll put it here. Yeah, SHIPS2. You could get free shipping. All right. Sprinkle, sprinkle. So throughout, okay, let's go back to Doctor Strange. So in part 2 of Doctor Strange, he has to battle Wanda. I don't know if y'all seen part 2, where he has to battle Wanda, and she's like the Scarlet Witch. And they have to come to an agreement, because no one is going to win. They be fighting, but no one wins because she's too powerful. So what he has to do, spoiler alert coming, if y'all haven't seen part 2. So I think it's something Doctor Strange in the multiverse or something. So in part 2, he has to go to another realm and dimension where he has died, dig up his own dead body, and reanimate him with the spirit of, that's going to be feminine energy, necromancy. That's feminine energy to reanimate, to bring something to life. So he has to use the feminine energy to bring his dead body back to life from another realm and take it to the realm with Wanda, so that he's indestructible, because a zombie can't really die. So the zombie gets close enough to Wanda so that they can talk. Doctor Strange can talk to her and reason with her through the divine feminine energy, because she's so upset because, they're trying to take her kids, and she's like in the wrong dimension and all this kind of stuff. So she's like really upset. So finally he reasons with her to do the right thing. But literally it took him to use the dark feminine energy to resurrect his dead body. So this is giving a Christ type of energy, where, the resurrection of Christ through the divine feminine energy, to reason with, the quote unquote Scarlet Witch, or the witch that's in the wrong dimension, or the divine feminine that is going rogue and destroying things. So that would be like the destroyer, divine feminine energy that has to get rid of the old, old way of thinking. And then everything is okay again. And he also has to take like a hit watching his ex-girlfriend get married, and remain alone because of his toxic masculinity. But he's trying to use his arrogance and his balance of the masculine and the feminine. That's why his colors are red and blue. He's trying to use his balance of the masculine and the feminine to, serve a purpose, which is to fight off whatever is trying to get into the dimensions. And so his time stone that he uses is green. And green represents the heart or the chakra or the frequency, as well as the moon. And in the chakra system or in the planetary system, if you put it on the chakra system, the moon is represented by the green. The heart, which is the lunar moon, the lunar calendar, which is the feminine calendar. Okay, so time is, he's keeping time through the feminine lunar calendar, because if you look here, green represents the moon and the planets of the chakra systems. So yeah, y'all rewatch. So the whole secret behind everything is the divine feminine energy. It's always going to be hidden or in plain sight, depending on your perspective and how you view the divine feminine. Sometimes it will humble you, or sometimes you'll understand what it is when you come face to face with it. But a lot of people need to be balanced at this time. Women as well. There's a lot of women who live in their masculine and need to be reminded of their feminine energy, because you can't heal other people, or you can't tell, I won't even say heal, you can't tell other people or make them feel divinity if you aren't feeling your divinity. You know what I'm saying? So you can't give off the energy of being divine to another human to get them to raise their consciousness if you don't feel divine within yourself. So you'll notice that some women are just having a more of an attraction type frequency, and they attract more people in with their frequency because they're living in their divinity and their divine feminine energy, and that attracts more than someone living in their masculine energy at this time. And so this is why it's very important to spread this information at this time, because there are people that may be on the verge of, figuring it out and waking up, but not quite. And they just need a little push or a little bit of a nudge. And so this is the time where like both my channels can literally be helpful to everyone at this time. Thank you, Casey. Sprinkle. Appreciate you. A lot of people who don't understand the spiritual aspect of it do understand the abundance and the mental aspect of it. So we have to work from where people are at this time. And so right now, I know people on this channel are more aware of the spiritual, and people on my other channel more aware of the physical. So I do both channels and let people know that the whole secret, everything that's been hidden, is literally the divine feminine waiting to wake up the rest of the world and bring them to their divinity. And some aren't going to find their divinity, not right away. It may take a couple of generations on down the line, but the thing is, if you never rise out of a certain mindset or abundance level, you're more likely to keep repeating the cycle of being with people that are on that same lower level as far as their mental, their spiritual, and their physical is concerned, because usually people don't want to mix and mingle unless they're seeing potential. And a lot of people don't work off potential. A lot of people don't work off potential because they already know, or they can see it and spot it a mile away, that person is not serious about being a better individual or rising to a higher level of abundance. They see that they're not serious. They're just looking for a place to rest. Okay. So that's why I tell women, don't go on potential. Okay. Because a lot of women get messed up and drugged back down based on someone's potential. Okay. And the divine feminine herself wants everyone to reach their potential. And so the best way for people to reach their potential is to keep things just out of their reach so that they have that carrot dangling to keep walking towards it. Okay. And that is our job as divine feminine goddesses, to dangle carrots to get everyone to reach their full potential. Okay. People maybe get mad about the dangling carrots, but they're still following it. You get it? They're still walking in the direction of the dangling carrot. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Have you heard anything from ancient? Huh? Oh, have I heard anything about that? I'll go look it up, but like my focus is more on the divine feminine energy that's like coming down at this time. So, but I'll definitely go see what you said syphilis is about. Okay. Yeah. So ladies, if you are in your divinity, you have to protect it and only deal with men who are in their divinity. That means they're going to have the same potential, the same mental, the same energy, you know, they're going to match your abundance or more, whatever, but you can't deal with anything beneath you. Okay. Because at this time, this is how you create what they call the place with no name, and the fifth dimension, or the energy that you're able to create a whole reality based on your manifestations. So if you notice, a lot of women who are manifesting and changing and transitioning at this time to this new reality or this new world are getting everything that they're trying to achieve. And so if you bring someone in it who's not matching that frequency, this is all going to be messed up right here, and you're not going to be able to create this place or create in this place, because you're going to be drugged back into another one. Yeah, Place with No Name, MJ song. So, and the woman comes to get him in that song. If you've heard the MJ song, Take Me to a Place Without No Name, like a woman literally comes and takes him to this place with no name in the song. And so he's sad because he can't take his family with him because they're not awakened on his level. So he has to go back and be with his family because his family is like not on that level mentally or spiritually or financially. So basically, the song was about, take me to a place without no name. He was asking the divine feminine energy to take him to the place. So he got to go. He got to see what it was. He got to, do his little thing. But then he started messing and dealing with people that were of lower frequency. And so, he went back. So you can go in and out of the realm. You go in and out of the different realms where you can create and where you can't create. Because the multiverse is definitely real. And, messing with broke people, messing with lower spiritual, energies, messing with people that are not awakened, especially sexually, will take you back to the reality that you don't want to be in. Okay. So stop messing with women and men who aren't on your level, mentally and spiritually. Now here's the difference. Because we live in a patriarchy, the woman may not be on your level financially, but if she's above you spiritually, now listen, if the woman is above you spiritually and she knows she's divine, but you know how to get that money, the exchange rate will be even, because you're giving her money and she's giving you knowledge. So you're literally paying for your higher frequency. Where they get the divine whore or the divine Hathor type energy when you exchange knowledge for money, not sex. Sex ain't got nothing to do with it. Anybody can get some sex. You can get sex from, a sheep. Okay. They want this. They want this. Like Dr. Strange, he got this. So instead of sleeping with her, she just hit him on his little head in Doctor Strange. But we know the real deal. You know, you got to get through that chakra system. All right, you know you got to get through here. So this is an exchange. If you are well aware of who you are, your divinity, you walk and talk like you're the, you know, the goddess. You have that energy. You know who you are. You know the divine feminine energy and da da da. You know, they may be lacking in that, and they may want a piece of you in exchange for providing. No issue, you know. And then you learn how to make the money as well, and they learn how to think more abundantly, creatively, and, you know, feel a certain frequency and vibration and get to that fifth dimension where they can create more and continue to ascend and grow. So it's up to the woman literally to allow men into that kingdom or that frequency. And some women don't know this, and some women are taken advantage of, and some women are dumb and exchange for nothing and get nothing and end back in a lower frequency and can't manifest correctly, or is too distracted with survival. So the whole point is to get out of survival mode and to link up with people that can benefit each other, period. Uh-huh. And a woman can do this all on her own, definitely. But think about this. I'm going to name drop because, you know, we have to use examples of people we know. Who was Rihanna sleeping with before she got with her current A$AP Rocky guy? A billionaire. Rihanna was sleeping with a billionaire before she got with her baby daddy. Let that sink in. Let it sink in. And that was before she became a billionaire. Okay. You said an Arab prince. All right. See? And then she came out with her cosmetic line, her makeup, make their way up line. But see, she's so smart. She named it Fenty, which was her last name or her father's name. So literally the Merkaba star, the masculine and the feminine merge, and cosmetics, the cosmic, the cosmos, the heavens. You see? So when you get the energy, when you get the knowledge, you're going to have men with money trying to get with you, ladies. Because they're exchanging ideas. Okay? So know who you are. Don't be giving your stuff away for free and paying for some broke man. Because you're taking yourself lower and lower. And this is why a lot of people suffer from depression, because they keep messing with low people. And they become so low because they've messed with so many low people. They haven't gotten an exchange, no hope, no abundance, no frequency. They're literally just messing with the dead at that point. You know, you might as well be messing with a corpse because you ain't getting nothing out of it. I know that's nasty, right? But literally, you gotta mess with people. When I say mess with, y'all know what I mean. Y'all gotta deal with people, even if it's just in conversation. You gotta conversate with people who are on a higher level. If you don't, you're dragging yourself down. That's why I don't entertain nothing beneath me, period. And I am unapologetic about it because I can't risk dealing with anything that's going to drag my frequency down. And women and men who understand their divinity won't mess with no woman who will drag his divinity down. Okay, so that's why your confident level and your ability to claim your goddess divinity is very important. So like when people ask me, oh, you're a queen, or you know, or you know, you're this type of woman, I say, no, I'm a goddess. I let them know straight up I'm a goddess. I put it in my name so they know. Period. And so when you are a goddess and you know it, you're going to attract certain types of men who want to get into that realm where they can create. Those that know. Some men don't even know, and they're just attracted to you because their intuition is connected them to you, because they may have tapped into the divine feminine, in their own, within themselves, but they know if they get with a goddess, their frequency is gonna get larger, and they're gonna be able to see and have more vision, as well as get into that frequency where they're able to literally manifest better. Oh, thank you, Chiquita. Sprinkle. All right, so that's why you gotta make sure, appreciate that. That's why you gotta make sure you don't deal with no one that's gonna bring you down. Don't do it. Okay. Let the dead lay with the dead. Exactly. They said, okay, so in Christianity, when they say the dead in Christ, they mean the people that aren't divine, the people that don't believe ye are gods and goddesses, the people that don't know who they are, period. The dummies, the ones that still looking outside of themselves. Okay. So don't lay down with nothing that worships anything outside of themselves. Or else you're gonna be up outside yourself. Thank you, Robo Goddess. Sprinkle. See, she got goddess in her name too. And I think, like, if you do have a name online, you should add the word goddess to it, or divine. That's gonna let them know. Put the goddess in there somewhere, baby. Okay. You said spiritual hygiene. Exactly. Okay, so there's this song called Dusty's, and it's by a female rapper named, I think it's Mia. And she is, like, in the video, let me see if I can find the video, but in the video, she's standing at the top of the staircase in this giant mansion, looking down on everyone like she's above, like in the heavens or whatever. And she is saying she ain't messing with no Dusties. She broke such and such, disgust me. And so really what she's doing is claiming, her divine self as, a goddess, and she can't deal with no dust because she's on a higher level, mentally, spiritually, and physically. You said she an op. And then she says she's an op at a party, like there's an ops at the party, but she's still going anyway. Either way, as long as you're aware of your divinity, that's all that really matters. He said there's a dichotomy between the poor righteous teachers and sages, villainy and wealth. That's so you won't get to the knowledge. But see, when the villain gets with the poor and righteous, that, okay, you might be broke, but you might be understanding of your divinity. They may be rich and can't get to the, and can't get to a certain frequency, or can't get to the wisdom. And so a sage and a villain may have sex, and now they're both considered, divine and gods. Sprinkle. Okay. So, that's how you do it. You got to get with the other one who got what you want. The villain's always rich. They always paid, got a nice wardrobe. Them spiritual hotep always, broke, but they may feel like they're a god. Not a king, but a god. And if they exchange, you got some money. But see, a lot of these guys who maybe felt their divinity may have had money at one time, but they kept messing with certain types of women who didn't have the high self-esteem, who kept looking outside of herself for her own divinity, who kept, following behind, other broke people and bringing her brokenness into the broke, into someone else's divinity. So I'm saying, If you're messing with a woman with low self-esteem, don't know who she is, masculine, you're going to bring yourself down. Best way as a divine masculine to honor the divine feminine. Hecate has shown me a lot on your journey. As well, spider goddess that has luxurious taste. How can I give back to them? Thank you. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay, well, think about what the divine feminine likes. Like, out of all the women you know, what do women have in common that they like? That's how you give back money. Money and recognition. Respect, money, and recognition of the divine feminine herself. If you donate to a charity based to help women, I mean, whatever you come up with, if you want to do it in a more personal way, you know, depending on what you are capable of. I mean, give her something that no one else can give her, or that only you could give her. You know what I'm saying? So that, and you have to get to know her so that you can know what she's missing so that you can provide it. And that could be anything. It could be an experience. It could be a way of treating her. It could be an acknowledgement of something, so on and so forth. So, you know, the best way to honor anyone is to get to know who they are and how they perceive. You said, what about the Kardashians? Are they the divine feminine? If they know that they are, it doesn't matter if you're good or bad. It's an understanding of self and a self-awareness and abundance and working towards your own reality. Like, your reality does not have to match my reality. Your definition of the perfect world or the world that you want to create may be totally different from mine. So as long as you know who you are and I know who I am, we're going to create our own reality individually. But we may disagree with each other, but it doesn't matter. We are both divine. So that's what I'm saying. So always just know that it's up to you. You said whatever James doesn't know can't hurt or ain't that. You all silly. Anyway. And okay, let's say that you can't hook up with someone in the physical, or not anymore anyway. So you can't hook up with someone in the physical anymore. You can use the astral realm to exchange as well. That's why, remember on Doctor Strange when he had to go in the astral realm to accomplish things? I don't know what he was doing, but you can also do this in the astral realm with someone that is of higher frequency. They may come to you, you may go to them, it doesn't matter. But if you're unable to do it in the physical and you are very mentally adept to and spiritually adept to astral travel, then you can definitely use the astral realm to also create this frequency. And you know how they say, okay, a lot of succubus and, you know, what do they call the men version? The male succubi? I don't know. Anyway, so they may come to visit you if they know that you are representing the divine feminine. They may come to visit you in dreams in the astral realm. You may be like, every night you might be getting it in your dreams. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? Oh, incubus. Okay. So every night you might have a line. Thank you, Spring. You might have a line, you know. But remember, still in your mental, as a woman, only that person or a certain person you will allow in to your astral realm. You know what I'm saying? So they might be in line, but they still might not be able to get in if they're not worthy or if you don't like them. So remember that. You say you just have a dream like that for real? All right. So you only allow certain people in and you say no to everybody else. That's how you can protect yourself. Do y'all remember when I was talking about this lady on Dr. Phil? And she said demons and stuff, or, you know, be attacking her in the astral realm and pimping her out. That's the so there's an episode of Dr. Phil like that recently, right? And she said, what can I do? What can I do? You need to set up boundaries and get away from these broke men and stop letting all these people have access to you. That's what you need to do. And you need to realize that you're divine. Because if you're in the astral realm and you don't know that you're divine, that's how you don't have control, or you don't understand that you have the command. So she is unaware of her frequency, and she can't command anything because she does not feel as if she's a goddess. And so if you don't know your power, if you don't know your level of command that you're able to command, then you're going to allow whatever to happen to you because you don't know who you are. And so a lot of victims suffer because they don't know who they are. But once you take your divinity and you start walking in your God and goddess mental and spiritual, all of a sudden you free yourself of the suffering and the victimhood. Then you become a god or a goddess and you start creating and commanding. And everything starts changing to your favor. And so that's why it's important. If you are feeling spiritually attacked, you have to claim your divinity. Just like, y'all remember the movie The Craft? At the end where that girl was, being harassed by the other three witches, and she couldn't fight back because she was scared. She didn't realize she was divine. So she had to call in and invoke the spirit, which is the feminine energy. So she had to invoke the spirit in order to get her confidence in her energy and her power and her divine feminine energy. And then no one could really touch her after that. And she kept it as well. So that is another example. Like if if you're a witch and you don't really follow religion or spirituality, but you're more of like a witch that invokes energies and spirits, it's the same thing. So when you are aware of your divinity, nothing can touch you. Not even on the astral plane. Okay. That's how y'all need to walk every day. You know how they say walk in Christ in the religion? It means walk in your divinity, not walk and worship someone else. Doesn't mean that. So if you're worshiping anything, you're doing it backwards, which is the trick. Okay. When you worship something, it's literally the exchange of each other. So like worshiping each other would literally become this, and you're giving each other gifts and benefits. So make sure you're getting them benefits. As above, so below, as within, so without. As it is in heaven, so shall it be on earth, which means get your money. Don't sleep with nothing broke. Make sure that person is divine. Make sure they know that you're divine, and the gifts of entering into a state or a frequency of being able to manifest what you want in your life and create your life is literally going to manifest. And if you are trying to find your divinity, I definitely recommend this book, How to Manifest with Magic and Dark Cosmic Energy. It's on Amazon, also linked in the description and at the top of this video. But definitely this will teach you how to imagine yourself as source energy and get the mental of being divine. And it has spells, it also has science and manifestation guidance. Okay. So get your divine on, or else you're going to be left behind. You know how they say, we're going to be left behind in the Christian Bible. You're going to be left behind. Yeah, you're going to be left behind because no one's going to want to mess with you and get you up to speed. All right. So if you are single, like I said, astral realm or yourself, rise through your own self. Rise through yourself, know thyself, This is why in certain cultures and religions, they say, no, you can't fornicate, you can't sleep with people, you can't do this, and you can't do that. Or they don't want you to mess with just anybody because you got to be very particular about what you're messing with. If you're messing with, scum, that's what you're going to vibrate. Uh-oh, sprinkle, sprinkle. Sure, you keep your vibrations on a divine level. Thanks to you. You got my book. Thank you, Steph. Steph, appreciate you, girl. Thank you, girl. So, if you don't have a partner or an astral partner or someone that you want to partner with that you know is up here, then yes, you raise yourself and raise yourself. There you go. Okay. Now, okay, so a lot of people are asking like about the astral realm sometimes in different videos. I need my little fan. So a lot of people are asking about astral realm and how you get on the astral realm and how you meet people on the astral. They got you, y'all both got to want it. Y'all both have to want to meet on the astral plane in a frequency. So this is where a lot of the witchcraft stuff comes in, or the manifesting stuff comes in. So a lot of people who want to attract a certain energy, you can do certain things. If you choose, you can think about the person, you can do an attraction spell, you can do all this kind of stuff, whatever you want. But remember, still you have free will, even in the astral realm. So you can say yes or no. If you get to the astral realm and you're not really feeling their energy at that time, you can always be like, you know what, this it was nice to see you, but never mind. So whatever it is, as long as you know your divinity, you have the control. Okay, remember that. Okay. So whoever you want to meet there, you will be there. If they want to meet you there. And what I've learned is that if they know that you are divine feminine energy, they may seek you out and, in some form or fashion, whether it be in the physical or the astral, but it's up to you always up to you. Sprinkle, sprinkle. And you have to also be very aware that the goal for a lot of these guys are also to either sleep with you or to visit you in the astral realm to exchange energies there. So if you're not wanting to do that, but you feel as if they're trying to trick you into it, you must allow yourself to, if they're not trying to exchange anything with you, to ask for something. You're like, okay, well, maybe. But first, we got to go to the car lot. Or first, we got to go to the mall. And this is more from my other channel. But if they're trying to trick you, you know what you got to go do. Exchange. Now, people are upset about that because they don't understand. If you are a highly advanced divine feminine energy, you're not doing nothing free. Period. Nothing. Because a divine feminine is associated with abundance. Period. Not lack. But if you out there doing stuff free for anything, whether it's your time, your energy, you are not living in your divine feminine energy as a goddess. Think about this. If you were someone of importance and considered a goddess or even a celebrity, because we compare celebrities these days to goddesses and gods. So if you are a celebrity, you ain't going nowhere for free, period. And right now, all women who are divine are literally celebrities. Okay, I don't care what you look like. It's about how you vibrate and how you feel. And if you know you are divine, that's it. So nothing for free. And a lot of guys aren't liking this at this time because they're not worthy. They're not worthy. Only those that are worthy may enter into this realm. So that's why. And remember, those who are worthy have been doing the work to get worthy. And so, you know, Rihanna's song, work, 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 work. Drake was in there. You gotta work, 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 Drake. So, you know, they have to work, 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 work in order to become worthy of the divine feminine energy and blessings to enter into the realm where they can create. So, for example, let's say you're a man and you've been working your whole life towards your goals, right? And you saved some money, you got a little business started. Now you're just at the threshold. Like, if I could just pierce through the ceiling or pierce through this veil, I get to the next level. Okay, you can't get to the next level until you get that frequency. You can't get into the realm where you can speak and create and manifest that life until you get with the type of woman that is frequency, that is in her divine. Okay, so that's why you got to find one like that. And that's why a lot of these women who know their divinity are having more options. And, you know, a lot of people are saying there's not enough provider men. They coming out the woodwork now. Provider men will come out the woodwork if they see someone who is in their divinity. Okay. Just saying. So remember, you are sacred and you don't allow just anybody in, especially if you are a woman that has abundance and divinity. You don't just let anybody in unless they have the same or more, because then you're benefited. Okay. So let's say, for example, somebody says, okay, well, you know, you're beautiful, you have your own thing going, you have your own career. I don't want any money from you, ma'am, but I have lots of money, but I'm at a standstill where I can't get to my next level. So you seem divine. You seem to know you're a divine goddess. So let's hook up and let me get on to this next level, because I got to accomplish certain things. Okay. Let me go into the realm where I can get what I want. All right. So what you gonna do for me? So this is the exchange. You know, this is the exchange. And a lot. Okay. So this is more for my other channel, but since it is spiritual, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you here. A lot of these, you know, a lot of people who are unable to receive the feminine energies and blessings right now because they are lacking, have gotten what they call passports to go to other countries, but still they're doing it they're still doing it backwards. No offense to anyone, but as a grown man, unless the woman that you're choosing is in her divinity and in her wisdom and in her abundance, it's not really helping you spiritually to get to the next level. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you see the whole movement failing, because they're literally just working backwards. Okay. And like I said, I'm not trying to put anybody down, but if you're working backwards, you're working backwards. I mean, there are no shortcuts. You got to get your money up. You got to get your mental up and your divine self knowledge. That's it. There are no shortcuts. You're just going to go backwards. Okay. And the reason for this is to raise everyone to the frequency and to their full potential, so that they can walk, talk, and live and create in the sacred realm that or the new world, as they call it, as you're able to create in. Okay. If you're not able to create, then you're not literally in that new world. So also, like when you guys look at certain celebrities, they already got with certain people. They're already in that world. You know, so like, for example, I'll talk about Nikki or whoever. She's already been there. She's already gotten her information. That's why she's on top. So Like I said, you can, like Rihanna did. She went and slept with that Arab prince, got his $1 billion money mind, and came back. So that's what I'm saying. She already has it. They already have it. They are the woman. They are the source of it. They already have it. If you're already on the top, there's nowhere else to go. Okay, like she wanted to, like Nicki wanted to be the #1 female rapper. So I don't know who she was messing with, but she sure did get to #1. Got them rap skills from each other. Okay, y'all know Drake, Lil Wayne, Kanye West. I don't know who done did what, but guess what? They all got them skills. So guess what? There's nowhere else to go. And she's wanted to be top of her game. She's top of her game. And to give that away to someone else who's in the industry. Now listen to this. To give her gift away to someone else in the industry would be stupid, because they could go sleep with another woman and take her off. You know what I'm saying? So it's like an energy exchange when you get to that level, especially if you're a divinity. So for example, let's say she would have got with another rapper and he cheated on her with another female artist, so on and so forth, right? He's giving her exchange and energy and gifts as far as lyrics and rap and talent is concerned to some other woman. So if she has to sleep with someone, he's going to be a non-rapper and a non-threat. You know what I'm saying? So Beyonce became a really pretty good rapper after she just got with Jay-Z. So she got some skills too. And whoever he slept with, we don't know. But the whole point is, you know, that whole thing when they were going down the elevator, going down, you know, and find out he was cheating with somebody, so it brought their energies down. That was all code. Like, okay, you done slept with somebody and brought my energy down. Now I gotta go do what I gotta do. It's both. It's spiritually and sexual. You know, because if you sleep with someone, that's spiritual, because you're exchanging energies. All right. So when you want to protect yourself, when you want to protect your spiritual gifts from other people, you don't sleep with people that could be a threat to you. You know what I'm saying? You don't sleep with someone in your industry that could be a threat to you. You know what I'm saying? Or you don't sleep with someone in your range that could be a threat to you. So therefore, some of these women don't want to be, you're not going to knock me off the top, like Rihanna said. You ain't going to knock me off the top, so you just better have my money. Okay, you going to, you know, so she gets with somebody that can't knock her off the top. And so did Nicki. So when you get to the top of your field, you get someone that can't knock you off. All right. See, it's like a whole goddess thing. It's a whole goddess thing. You get with someone until you don't need them anymore as a divine goddess. So you'll see it with Mariah Carey. You'll see it with Nicki Minaj. You'll see it with Rihanna. The reason why, and see, we're going to talk about Nick for a second, why he had to go out and spread his wild oats as revenge. If you think about it spiritually, spreading his wild oats and making children with all those women, while he was with Mariah for so long, you know, I don't think those women are threats at all. But I don't know what it is. I can't look into that because that's not my business. But he's very proud of all his children, as he should be. I don't know. Maybe he has something else spiritually going on. Maybe he has his divine wisdom and he's spreading it to the women and the children of the world. And he feels like he needs to sow his wild or royal oats. Because, you know, some men have a God complex and they want to share their knowledge with others to awaken them. I mean, we can look at it from that perspective, from his perspective, or we can look at it from another perspective. But maybe that's what he's doing in his mind. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, but once you get on a top level there and there's nobody there to match you, then you must either, like if there's nobody there to match you or to gift you or to exchange with you, and you already got what you want and you're already at the top of your game, then you have to be strategic about who you allow into your life and in your body. Okay? Because you don't know their motivation. Okay, do y'all remember that? Do y'all remember that video that Jay-Z and Beyonce did, Family Feud, where it showed this, I think it was, I forgot her name. Anyway, this lady was like in bed with this guy, and then her brother burst in and started calling her whores and all this stuff. And she was like, no, this is mine. I rule this. Y'all will never rule. So that was literally the divine feminine doing what she wants and not allowing men to rule. And the guy that she was, even the guy that she was sleeping with was trying to stab her in the back, you know. So this is why a lot of women who get on top of their field have to watch out with who they sleep with, because it could literally be someone trying to take their, you know, gifts, so to say, spiritual and talents and all those type of things. So she was not having it. So both of them died and she remained. So go watch Family Feud, you'll see. And it showed like a glimpse of the future where, you know, all the powers that made decisions, you know, based on politics and worldwide things were feminine and at a round table, creating a better world. And so then you have Beyonce in this black veiled dress in a church as the divine feminine energy. And then you had their daughter in the pews watching the, you know, both of them perform. So it's basically they were teaching her, protect your energy, your divine feminine energy. So if I understand correctly, does this mean if I want to be a billionaire, I must sleep with one? You get closer to it, baby. Yes. The closer I get to you, the more you make me see. By giving you all I got, your love has raptured me over and over again. So you got to sleep with them a couple times or a couple millionaires. It just depends on what you're trying to do. You know, it's a build. Why do y'all think gold diggers got money? Okay. Rick Ross said he went gold 6 times for a gold digger. Y'all gotta get on the next level. Broke men only complain about women wanting money because they don't have nothing to offer them spiritually, physically, or mentally. All right, because they're not even in the abundant mindset. That's why we don't mess with no dusties, ma'am. And for men, don't mess with no woman who's sitting in there giving all her energy to the church and Jesus and them and praying to the Lord because she's giving away her divinity every time she do that. All right. So don't mess with nothing broke if you want to get rich. He said Jesus and deal. Y'all know how I have to explain stuff because it's easier for everybody to understand. You still got to materialize it. Yeah, that's where the ideas come from. If you sleep with a millionaire, a couple of them, and you start to get the tingle, And ideas, I gods, Dios, gods. When you start to get the I gods, you're going to get the ideas to get that money. Okay. So that's why. You said Megan Good. She's so silly. You said you thought you shouldn't sleep with someone if we're not fully provided for. Well, like I said, it depends. What can you exchange? If the man is unaware of his divinity, yeah, get some money from him, ma'am. Most men who have made it to millionaire status are aware of their own divinity. They develop a God complex. And so they know that they're divine. And so they're looking for someone who could bring them to that next realm, because they may have fell off and maybe gotten with someone or slept with someone who didn't know that they were divine. So they got to get back up. You know what I'm saying? So if they see someone more divine than the woman that they're with, or their former woman who's got more knowledge, they're going to get with her. Or they might have slipped up and slept with something that didn't know who they were, and now they got to get back up. Don't let the elevator take you down. Oh no, let's go crazy. Let's get nuts. Headed to the purple vanity. All right. Ah! Prince. So, let's go crazy. So you got to get to that next level if you mess up. Or you find somebody with a higher frequency. You know what? That chick was nice. But this one she got more knowledge. Let me go get with this one. So this is how the upper, echelon of men, they're looking for that divine feminine, so they get into that other realm so that they can create and surpass what they've already done. And women should know this too. So if you see a man who doesn't know himself, he doesn't know he's divine, he don't have no God complex, but he has enough to provide for you, that's totally different. You can have a provider that doesn't have a God complex. That's how Rihanna did it. She dated that billionaire. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Patricia, sprinkle. So why do people say that Beyonce is the Illuminati? Is that just people who aren't aware of their divinity? Yeah. People make up stories to distract. You say y'all hate us corny with that Illuminati mess. So, like I said, the secret of the Illuminati, if they're, is the divine feminine, period. So she has the right to say, y'all hate us corny with that Illuminati mess. I am the true energy. I am the divine feminine. Okay, y'all can do y'all secret handshakes, have y'all secret meets, but when it all come down to it, it's the woman, period. Always the feminine energy that gets you to the next realm. So that's what I'm saying. Y'all, Illuminati can do whatever they want, but their secret is just the woman. That's literally it. Am I going to the Beyonce Renaissance concert? If somebody give me some tickets. I went to her concert last time she came to Houston. I actually went to two of her shows when she was with Jay-Z on the Run tour, on the Run 2. I went to that one twice. So brought my kids to one and went with someone else. And then, they enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. This red lipstick, it will not be in stock until probably in a couple of weeks from now, because I ordered the inventory. But there is red lipstick on my site, very similar to this. So just go type in red lipstick to my Level Up Cosmetics .us website and you'll see. Or you can wait for a couple of weeks. Thank you, ZT Sprinkle. Y'all are going to the show. Well, I hope y'all enjoy. It is, she's a great performer. So go ahead, and I think the ticket's probably going to be worth it. And plus, a lot of her stage stuff and a lot of her songs and props, Definitely have to do with divine energy, divine feminine energy. That's why she's doing it alone this time. Oh, Jay-Z. So that's why she's, just doing the concert without him, because she's bringing back that divine feminine energy. And symbols, props, lyrics are tools to wake the masses, charging them high tickets because of what they're going to get. Beyonce ain't crazy. She's going to charge, as she should. All right. Those tickets have been talked about, how expensive they are, because you're getting the divine feminine energy. So you got to pay her for all them props and symbols and light shows. It's expensive to put energy, light, and props and symbols together for a performance for the masses, in order for something to click in their heads and realize that they're divine. Yeah, so she's told us in the song Bigger. Yeah. So that costs money to spread information. And that's another thing, like, we see all these divine feminine representations in the media and everything, like of all colors, shapes, sizes, so on and so forth, right now, because that is, quote unquote, literally the goddess, the feminine energy. And so you have some guys saying, oh, well, I'm not gonna do this and that unless this woman looks this way. The thing about this part is, a lot of men who are going for looks, as far as trying to get the divine feminine, but they're broke in their pockets and have, preferences on what certain women look like. If you are broke, if you ain't got no money, if you stuck in life, if you are considered a dusty, and you find a divine feminine woman of any shape, size, or color that has knowledge and wisdom, and she chooses to bestow it upon you, and you have complaints, y'all are missing it. Y'all are missing it. All right. So that's why you'll see at this time, a lot of certain men are getting with certain types of women. And a lot of people ask me, why are these millionaires with these plain women? Some of these women are ugly and plain. And I told y'all, especially from my other channel, some men who have a lot of money, they have to get with certain women who are aware of their divinity. They can go get them a side piece or a mistress who's unaware of their divinity, and then go back and, heal themselves with their wife who is aware of their divinity. I don't know. They do what they got to do. All right. Then we have people like Elon Musk. He out there making babies with everybody. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe those women that he chose knew their divine feminine energy. We don't know. Could be. We don't know. You can't judge a woman by her looks because you don't know. Like if I were walking down the street or through the mall and you saw me, you'd have no idea that I was in touch with my divine feminine energy unless I wore certain symbols, jewelry, colors, da da da. If you yourself as a man was in the know, you may look for certain types of symbols, tattoos, jewelry on my body to maybe indicate that I was aware of my divine feminine energy. But if I didn't have any symbols on that said that I did, no one would know, So it's like hidden in plain sight. Hidden in plain sight. And so here the succubus comes in, or the Lilith or the succubus comes in to steal energy from men as well, uninvited, to the masculine who don't know their divinity. They can come and take from them as well. So that's why, or if the men do know of their divinity but not consciously aware of it, they may just say, oh my gosh, I had this woman come to me in my dream, and we were doing the deed, And what they don't know is that they were exchanging energies with them to take out what they desired from that person. You got to be careful. Like when you are visited in dreams, if you have something special about you that you're unaware of, I believe it's a sign to start seeking your divinity within when you get visitations. You know how like in the Bible, they always say, oh, the angel visited, this person and that person and said A, B, C, and D. And then that person started going on a spiritual journey and, da, 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 da. But see, sometimes in order to keep you enslaved, they will say, I come in the name of a God with outside of yourself. And so they'll keep you in the religious circle so that they can use you. Okay. So if you are self-aware that you are gods or goddesses, no one's going to visit you that's trying to trick you. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand that. So like a lot of times in the Bible, people were getting tricked left and right. All right. Should you go through his phone? If you want to find something, there's gonna be something there. You ready to find something? Go through his phone if you want. See what you can find. Make sure that he has money for your forgiveness if you forgive him. Otherwise, if you ain't going nowhere, don't go through his phone. And I had a whole video on my other channel. If you ain't going nowhere and he ain't got no money to give you, don't go through his phone, man. Because he need to apologize in funds or gifts. If he doesn't have the money to apologize in funds or gifts, don't even bother going through the phone. Unless you're going to leave and go get somebody better. So that's my advice. It's very simple. At this time, we don't have time to be talking about this, and that. If you want to, if you want to receive certain things while it's still hot, you need to make sure you're only dealing with certain types of people, or they're giving you something beneficial for your time and energy. That's it. Okay. Because y'all are going to have a lot of okay, so whenever, and I talk about this on my other channel a lot, if you ever had a relationship and that person left you, or when you left them, you felt like, I can't get over them, there's a void, there's no one else that I want, or, how do I get over this person? It's not that you need to get over them, it's just that they took too much from you and you didn't receive equal or anything in return. So now it's hard to get over someone who literally took from you and didn't pour back into you as much as you poured into them. So you're not really missing them. You're missing a part of yourself that they took, that you gave, and they didn't give anything back in return. So you're not really over them. You're not trying to get over them. You're trying to get over yourself for giving too much. You gave too much. This is why you don't give and give and give of yourself that much, because then you'll feel like you can't get over the person, but it's not them, it's just what they took. Okay. And when they keep taking and you don't receive anything in return because you like them more than they like you, you're feeling that empty void. When you miss them, you don't miss them, you miss the opportunity for them to pour back into you that you've been waiting for, that you never got. So that's all that you're missing. You're missing what they were supposed to give to you, but they never did. All right. You're missing the energy exchange. Exactly. False promises, lies, giving them the benefit of the doubt, looking at their potential instead of what they're doing at this moment. So you gave too much and they gave nothing or very little. That's what you miss. The opportunity for them to return it, that's what you miss. Because think about it. You're saying, okay, if this person comes back to me, they're going to fulfill all the promises and things that they never did before. Not act the exact same way and keep continuing to take. You want them to improve. You don't want them to stay the same if you should have them back, because you're missing out on the opportunity that you never received. Right. I gotta go, y'all. But yeah, thank y'all. It's like, honor yourself, walk in your divinity unapologetically, and don't mess with anyone that can't benefit you at this time, because you will definitely be benefiting them if you know who you are. Okay, sprinkle, sprinkle. Men, the same thing. Don't mess with somebody sitting out there giving all their divine feminine energy away to dusties in churches. Okay, stay away from holy rollers. And this is why you'll see a lot of women turning back to the church at this time, because instead of claiming their divinity and creating the life they want, they are afraid and they were scared back into giving their divine energy away, which is also a tactic, you know, of how a lot of people try to scare people back to the church so they can continue to use their feminine energy for free. Don't go back because it's you. The whole secret is the church worships you, but you still give them energy for free. All right, I'm gonna see y'all on the next one. I sprinkle, y'all. I might go back live on my other channel this evening, maybe between like 6 and 7:30. I'll probably put something up, but I'll be back this evening for my other channel. I have to do some errands today, so I will see y'all on the next one. Y'all hit the thumbs up if y'all like this video. No holy rollers, okay? Men, don't go for no holy rollers unless your name is Jesus. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Unless your name Jesus, unless your mama said your name is Jesus or Jesus, don't go for these holy rollers. I'll see y'all later.